Where you murdering the beat? 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 Where you murdering the beat?
All right, what's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of IZM Radio. We are chilling in the building. And I'm your gracious host. My name is Tariq Anshi. Let me play a commercial before we get started.
True-noblest.com. Let's go. Hey, stay fit, stay motivated, stay focused. Quality over everything. True Noblest. If you're looking for a brand that's the dopest, something that you can rock, you'll look the coldest. T-shirts, beanies and hats, sweatshirts, even hoodies with a tank to match. You can wear it at the gym or when you run on the track. Need to check the website, yeah, I'm telling you facts. Hey, True-Noblest, got you looking good, you know this. Take a picture, I mean right now. It ain't just a brand, baby, it's a lifestyle. Yeah, True-Noblest, quality over everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Quality over every goddamn thing.
Quality
You heard him.
over everything.
Everything. You heard him? You go to TrueNoblest.com right now. And also go to JCSVitalCard.com to get the Vital Card. It's proudly backed by Visa. And you need to do that right now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me introduce my co-host. Over here, we have Miss Bree. How are you, Bree?
Yo, coming straight from what's up, guys? What's going on?
And over here, we have Miss Layla Lopez. How are
Hi,
you, Layla?
everybody.
Yes.
How are y'all doing?
Yes, indeed. And I'm you know me, I'm Tariq. And we have a very special guest in the house. We're going to talk to him in a second. But we have Michael Jai White in the house, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, my brothers? Let me hear how you sound in the mic.
I'm good, man.
There you go. There you go. Now, before we get into my brother's game here, because we got a lot to talk about with our brother, how y'all ladies doing?
I'm kicking your ass.
Uh-oh.
I'm kicking Tariq ass, guys.
Me too.
Do you want to know why?
Why are you kicking my ass?
I already know why.
We were supposed to get a preview of our show.
Yes.
And he threw that B online.
But
Yeah.
it got good reviews, though.
People love the...
And I loved it.
Yes.
It was you made us look good,
I told
man.
y'all, man.
You're a really good director and
Man.
producer. I'm sleeping on you.
Y'all look great. Y'all
You
look
made
great.
us look really good. Thank you, Tariq.
I was so scared, guys.
Me too.
I was.
Now, what were you scared? What were you afraid of?
I didn't know. So much stuff was said.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, you just never know what's going to be chopped and screwed
Yeah.
because of the way that
You
the
did a
love and
mean
hip-hop
edit.
be doing them.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks so professional.
Yeah.
It looked really good.
And people, they're really waiting on the second episode. They
Yes.
want to see more.
I want to see more.
Yeah.
I'm into
Dude,
shit.
Yeah.
I had to watch it like 3 times. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's
Pe-
really- I appreciate y'all talking about my brothers though.
I know. That was
Somebody
calling
gonna
you
say I was dying though. He said, Layla's brother looked like a mentor for at-risk youth.
That sounds like a good job. For him.
Man.
I was
But
crying. It was was funny.
with the IZM Radio reality show pilot, we're trying to figure out what to do with it. I'm thinking about just making it a web series. I've had some people from some networks hit me up already about it. And
Damn, that's dope.
yeah, but the thing is, I don't want them to, with a lot of reality shows on television, they throw some agenda shit on there. You know what I'm
course,
saying?
right,
Then you gotta have this type of sexual relationship in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they've already given hints of that.
Yeah.
And I would like it to almost be a web series where we can just do whatever we want to do.
Right.
Because it's very important for me to show sisters, y'all not ratchet, and there's
We're not
nothing
fighting.
ratchet. Nothing was
That's
ratchet.
what people were saying.
That's the thing.
We're not fighting.
Nobody's fighting. Nobody's
Yeah.
doing no stupid shit, and
And it was
it's
still
good.
It was still
It
good.
was
yeah.
good. That's the thing, and I want to show people that we can be entertaining, funny, witty, without being on some hood rat shit.
Yeah.
You dig? So, give me some ideas, family. Y'all hit us up. Let us know what y'all want us to do. Should we do it as a web series? Should we crowdfund something and just get it done as a web series and just knock all the episodes out? That's an option. That's something that I would like to do. Or should we just go rock with a network?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that we did it ourselves.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
dope.
that's the
Black
thing.
owned and all of
Yeah.
that. I like the quality that came out of. Not saying that it wouldn't have been that because you are who you are, but
Yeah.
I just appreciate that it was done. Without the help of a network.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tariq, you did a wonderful
What was your
job.
favorite part, Layla?
My favorite part had to be the lunch date that me and Bree had. That was everybody's favorite part, where the guy was singing.
Yes.
And he was, I legit thought he was going to be like blow. Like
Me
straight
too,
up
me
like R.
too,
Kelly.
me too,
And he
me too.
just, that was, everybody thought that part was crazy.
Man.
These are all real people, by the way, guys. I'm
Yeah,
serious.
yeah, dude was
Nuts
like that for
follow
real.
us. Nuts
Yeah.
were just following us. It was crazy.
Man. And what was your favorite part, Bree?
The Tai Chi dude. I forgot. I
Yeah,
almost forgot that
yeah.
he came to audition.
We had the dude doing the Tai Chi. That was real. I'm telling y'all. That shit
That was so
That
real.
was
Yeah.
really
And
weird.
everybody was so confused. Like,
Yeah.
y'all faces were priceless.
Man.
That shit was hilarious.
Man.
Oh my God.
But anyway, we got our brother in the house,
Yes,
man.
sir. Get him
Our
on there.
brother, Michael Jai White, man, actor, martial artist extraordinaire.
Yes, sir.
Brother, now Mike, you're from Brooklyn originally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got to get in the mic, brother. Got to get in the mic.
Okay, I saw
Brother,
y'all
like,
leaning
yes,
over like
yes.
that. I thought
Yeah.
I do the same technique.
Oh no.
Okay, I got it. All right.
So
Yeah.
you were born in New York, Brooklyn, New York.
Born in Brooklyn,
Yes.
and I kind of split that up, and my preteens went to Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
Bridgeport.
Oh wow.
Which actually
Is
was crazier than Brooklyn.
wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that where Yale is?
No, that's in New Haven.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the first time I saw you was in the Mike Tyson movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
majority of folks.
Yeah.
That's the first time they saw me.
Yeah, a lot of folks. Y'all remember that this brother played Mike Tyson in 1995, and it was an HBO thing, right?
Yeah.
Great film. How was it? Did you do a lot of research to play Mike?
Yeah, but the real research that I really needed is just being a good judge of character.
Okay.
Growing up and knowing folks, right? And
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends that were friends with Mike.
Okay.
And I would see Mike out every now and then. There was this club called Bentley's. Everybody would be going there, and so
Was that out here?
No, that was in New York.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so it was kind of a thing where I don't care what a script says, right?
Yeah.
That's just a writer. That was a writer who didn't even know him that well, and so I changed things. The director gave me leeway to see things. That was like truthful. I actually went to Catskill, New York, and met with people who grew up with Mike.
Oh, okay.
And the trainers and all that type. All those people.
Did you meet Cusamato?
No, he was already passed away.
Okay.
But, it was like, hey, I'm trying to play the truth. I basically came up to the doorstep and said, look, this movie's going to get done without your input or not. I'm trying to give you the opportunity
Right.
to speak your truth to it. And they accept me with open arms. I talked to Kevin Rooney, all these people who grew up in the same household, and there was a lot of stuff in the script that wasn't right. And I came back and said,
Let
look,
'em
this is
know.
the truth here.
Yeah.
And so they changed it up.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you do any research with Robin Gibbons' people?
No. She didn't want no part of me.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
No, we're friends now. But
Okay, okay.
Rob, man, that was.
silly.
You got to think, man. My heart goes out to her. It always went out to her because people didn't understand, right?
Yeah.
Because the the media painted Mike to be like such a teddy bear.
Yeah.
There was nothing that existed showing Mike to be aggressive. Nothing existed on camera
Because you didn't have YouTube and all that stuff.
No, I had everything that was ever broadcast about Mike. And so the media was their intention was to paint Mike to be this kid from the wrong side of the tracks that these kindly white folks rehabilitated.
Right.
So there was no negativity on him at all at that time, right? But the point where he left and then, hooked up with Don King,
Yeah.
that's when they started airing everything else after the whole rape that whole thing.
Yeah.
When that came in, they aired stuff that I recognize because I study every tape on them. I'm going, oh shoot, this is the stuff that they cut out of the edit before. Here's the thing with him beside the tree. I didn't hear the bad part. Now they're broadcasting all the bad stuff. Because now they're painting the thing where, oh, he goes to the black man, and now he's this monster.
Yeah.
And they're showing all these things where, all the stuff that you now, because think about it. Everybody, by the time when Robin Givens said what she said on that in that interview, with was it Barbara
Walters, yeah.
Everybody was shocked, right?
Yes, they were.
Because you never heard anything like that.
Exactly.
That was the first time you heard anything. Now, years later, if somebody said that about him, you're not shocked at all because you already know.
Right. Exactly.
But at the time, everybody crucified Robin because it's like, how dare you? That's the American story, the sweetheart.
Yeah.
And so, but it was like there was never a retraction like, hey, Robin, we apologize. We get it now. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things where she was just like an outcast, but she basically is the first one to say, hey,
this dude is on that bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of do that with Floyd Mayweather now. Now that he's independent and he's with my man up there in Vegas. They're always trying to paint him negative.
Yeah, I dig Floyd so much because he stays a step ahead. I mean, he comports himself as a gentleman at the right times. He does the showmanship thing. But then on fight day, there's nobody classier than him. Every time, even when there's chaos going on in the ring, he's chilling.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And so I peeped this game a long time ago. I was like, man, that's kind of smart. Yeah.
Now, before the Mike Tyson movie, what were you in anything before then?
Nothing significant, man. Stuff that you'd have to use the pause button to see.
No.
Yeah. So, Derry. He's gone.
Oh,
is that
you're like the waiter in Coming to America.
Right. Yeah. There's a bunch of little things that I'll pop out and I'm like, hey, there he is on Saved by the Bell. Yeah, man.
But so after the Tyson thing, man, a lot of folks Spawn was the next biggest thing, and that was the first time an African American, a Black American, played a lead in a Marvel, or was it just a comic book thing? Period.
It was a comic book thing. It didn't have anything to do with Marvel.
Okay,
that's
right.
Image Comics.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first time with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even. The significance it didn't even hit me at the time because it came later. But
who were you up against with Spawn? Who were some of the other leads they were considering?
Well, yeah, I remember, and I don't know if I should say some of this, but they were thinking about a few people, well-known folks. But then I remember Dennis Haysbert was auditioning.
Dennis, who is he?
He's the Allstate guy.
Oh, that's the old brother? Yeah. That's the brother who was Whitney Houston's dude and Waiting to Exhale.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he been looking old since
he was old then. He was
like
he had the Morgan Freeman thing. They've been looking old for 50 years.
I used to get him and Morgan Freeman mixed up a lot.
Him and Morgan Freeman, really?
Yeah.
Really? Dennis Haysbert?
just because of their age.
Yeah.
No.
He's a good actor. He's too old to be Spawn.
No. At the time, I honestly, I try to tell people this story a lot because people. Okay. All right, Dennis Haysbert was an established actor at the time, very established, far more than who knew who I was. Right?
He was in Heat. He was in
a lot of things. Very powerful actor, and he did a very strong audition for this. And it's one of those things that makes you understand. Makes me appreciate and understand this business because Dennis Haysbert, for every reason he's a great actor and he had following and everything else. Well, he could have been a great Spawn, as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
He could have, because, man, he had the size, he had the power, he had the acting ability, right? But what happened was, here's this new guy, this young guy, who had this heat from Tyson and whatever, and they threw it toward me, even though, that's kind of a risk, really, because I had not been tried and true. Actually, they gave me that role based off of an interview. I thought I was just chilling with folks. It's not like I was really auditioning, right? And so, then this younger guy with this heat got the role, right? And so as I sit here in 2018 and people tell me, hey, man, how come you ain't, Luke Cage or Black Panther or whatever? I'm like, no. There was a time where I was the young guy that they gave this to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so if I could accept that from Dennis Haysbert, I can accept this now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? Even though, a lot of people can say, yeah, damn, you would be a good Black Panther.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, Dennis Haysbert would have been a good Spawn.
Right.
And
that's just the way. That's the way the
I
real.
still got opinions on that.
We got opinions.
You can't be spawned with arthritis. And your wrists go out.
But think about it, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We no.
He always look old.
Shoot, 20 years ago, he's younger than I am now, right?
Oh, wow.
So think about it. So 20 years ago, Dennis Haysbert, you wouldn't be saying none of that.
Yeah. Shout out to Dennis. I ain't shitting on you, Dennis.
I want to go back 20 years and see what he looked like.
I know.
Were you familiar with the character Spawn? Were you a comic book fan?
No, I was not a comic book fan.
Okay.
I didn't know what I had to. After the meeting, I had to talk to a friend of mine and say, "What is this Spawn thing?"
Oh, wow.
And my boy explained it to me. And I mean, it was only around 4 years before we did the movie.
Oh, wow.
It's not like I grew up with Spawn or anything. Like
Oh, wow. You learned on the spot.
Yeah, so you had to been a comic book head to even know what it is.
Yeah.
So that I kind of came into it.
And Spawn did pretty well. It did good. It had like a $40 million budget. It did what, like 87 million,
something like that.
Yeah.
And then worldwide, of course, it keeps accumulating.
Do you think the success of Spawn helped Wesley with Blade?
Well, yeah, in a very direct way.
Okay.
Because it was with the same company.
Wow.
And so some of the mistakes that they did with Spawn, they made sure it didn't happen with Blade.
Like, what were the mistakes?
Well, at the time they let the director run and do anything he wanted to with the film.
Okay.
And he was a special effects. He had a special effects background.
Who's the director of Spawn, by the way?
A guy named Mark DePay.
Mark DePay. Okay.
But to me, in my opinion, that movie got real convoluted because he started throwing special effects in it that jacked up the story. And even to this day, you never will find me in any interview or anything saying I like that movie. I never said that ever in my life because I just don't lie.
Wow.
I saw an earlier version of it when the story was intact, when it was a story about a man who loved his woman so much and his family that he did anything to come back to it.
Okay.
Well, the actual movie didn't show up like that. You saw nothing of his former life.
Right.
Only in flashback. It looks like I'm a disgruntled character trying to mess up with my best friends.
They do that with black characters. It's like the magic Negro. You just show up out of nowhere doing shit.
Yeah, but I had my issues about that. But I mean, it's like, I mean, so some of the things that happened with Spawn, where at the time New Line was kind of a maverick kind of place. Go ahead, it was kind of free flowing.
Oh, yeah.
They then got on top of the director for Blade and made sure the story elements were intact and it was going to be something that didn't run away from them.
Exactly. So when Blade blew up, that kicked off a lot of stuff with Marvel and the whole shebang.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now after you did Spawn, was Exit Wounds next?
Man, I am terrible at that.
Okay. You've done so many.
Let's just jump to the best one.
The
best one is How Did I Get Married?
That's later. Now, we'll build up to that. Now, we got a long way to go there before we get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I want to get into the.
I don't know if Tyler wrote that one yet.
Yeah.
How did I get married?
Why did I get married?
Yeah.
Layla be
That's okay.
a day late, dollar short all the time.
That's all right.
I know.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You get to know me. You get to know me.
She's family. It's okay.
Yeah.
To know me is to love me. No, I'm joking.
No. So exit wounds. On exit wounds, we had our brother Isaiah Washington up, and I've heard several horror stories about that movie from so many people. Everybody I know who worked on that movie said it was just a debacle on and off.
Every week there was something. See, and from my perspective, it's really crazy because I was like the Kaiser Sose of the movie.
Okay,
you didn't know I was pulling the strings till later, right?
Right.
So literally, I basically worked 9 days in a movie that shot over 4 months.
Oh damn!
So I pop up and I'm gone, right? And so I have like weeks off sometimes.
Yeah.
And every time I would pop back, you should report to the makeup, the makeup trailer, and I'd say, hey, is is Anthony in yet? And the makeup people would be like, I'm like, what happened? There was something going on with it. I ask about Seagal or whatever, and then, you didn't hear?
Oh, Lord.
What? There was something going on all the time.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? And it was
Did Steven ever say anything crazy to you?
Oh no!
He ain't gonna try.
I know he know who to talk.
We were real cool on that set. No, we were real.
He knew who to talk some bullshit to.
Well, I mean, it was very cordial.
Okay,
it was very cordial on scene. On that set.
I know DMX can't stand Steven Seagal. DMX said Steven Seagal walked up to his wife, and Steven started talking into this like Southern slave dialect or something like, "Hey gal, you's gonna come outside."
Hell no.
It was like some most slave shit,
God.
and they were like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Oh boy!
Yeah. Did you hear something like that, Mike? Did you hear something like that?
He's like,
I've worked with him a number of times.
Okay.
Yeah, and around I did exit Above the Law with him, and there was a lot of kind of Native American Eskimo type folks.
Yeah,
and he would dress like that.
Oh God.
And he would kind of speak in that vernacular a little
bit.
Sometimes people do that to kind of meld with you or try to communicate.
To think they're connecting with you.
Yeah,
that's what I
think about it.
That's
how many
the connection?
times do you go? Do you hear those extra "Hey brother" things in a store or whatever? Can I help you, brother? It's like
yeah.
In that exact tone.
Hey, homegirl.
But he's on some, "Hey y'all, you's gonna go down." He's talking like buckwheat and shit. It's like real patronizing. Like, who talks like that, nigga? So exit wounds. So after exit wounds, what was one of the big ones that you did?
You're asking the wrong dude.
Oh man,
I love that you're so disconnected.
I know you do
love
it. It's like a job. Let me just do this shit. Give me my ticket.
I swear to you, I have argued with people about things that I was in, and lost the argument. They were like, "You were in that." I'm like, "No, I wasn't." And they're like, and then I think about it. It's like, you're the voice of Doomsday. I'm like, I never did. Oh shoot, I am.
Oh, you did that much
dope.
stuff.
Man.
That's
well,
dope.
it's just I'm not looking in the rear view usually.
Exactly.
It's just like I'm so focused on the things that I have ahead of me. It's I don't know. Maybe when I'm old, I'll look back and kind of relive that stuff. But I'm thinking about learning and moving on all the time, and so it takes an extra effort for me to remember, especially what order I did something in.
Yeah. When did you get into martial arts, man? You're like, that's your shit. You that dude.
I've been in that since I was 7. Man.
Okay.
So it was an obsession with me. Not for the greatest reasons, because I just loved to fight.
Oh, really?
It was a part, and it's still in me. Like, I loved to fight.
On the street?
Anywhere. But it's like on one level, it was a thing where I could fight and not get in trouble for it.
Right.
I think it was one of those things where, like, growing up in the inner city, you tend to build armor, and this was my armor to some degree.
Okay.
And so, and I feel like it saved my life in a number of ways.
How so?
Yeah, well, literally saved my life to defend it, but then it taught me a discipline that I think, if had I not had that discipline, I wouldn't be around.
Okay.
Because I had probably the worst temper I've ever witnessed.
Really?
Ever in my life. When I played Mike Tyson, I was playing myself.
Oh, damn.
Oh, my.
Damn.
Honestly, people said, "Damn, you really not nailed that." I'm like, because there's something that's very similar between us.
What happened in your childhood that sparked that temper?
Let me tell you this, and this is something I really feel. Okay, and I want to stop this right now and just be the vessel for this to stop that scapegoating and blaming crap.
Okay.
Well, I can say shit on this.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm gonna raise my hand and say, a lot of times we learn to to point at things that cause us to be the way we are.
Right.
I think it's a chicken and egg thing, and it's actually, I believe it's a pre-consisting condition. I grew up in the same household that my brother did.
Okay.
He's an engineer. The things would roll off his back, but they didn't for me.
Okay.
Right? If I choose to point to my my relationship or my lack of relationship with my father and saying that's the culprit, I got the whole world will agree with me on that. Nobody wants, no one wants to dispute me on that. I could point to all of these things, but it's my belief this is who I am. That's who I was, because that's who I am to this day.
But can't you point to certain things that affected you as a child and say, okay, this is something that affected me, so I'm going to react to this differently now that I know the genesis of it.
Especially if you know it, you can choose that as your scapegoat.
Okay.
You can choose it. You know what I mean? Because we've been taught to learn to choose that. Okay. And then a lot of times you think that's the end of the story. And like you don't have any other growing to do because you could just point to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's a mistake I feel a lot of people make.
Okay.
Yeah, my father was like this, and this is why I'm like this.
I agree.
Okay.
No, really, when you really think about it, you was like that beforehand. Because you have, first of all, there's a choice. You come out the room who you are. If there is a choice, you can take that same thing. Like, okay, put it this way. Sometimes my father exists as somebody I don't want to be.
Okay.
But if I was just like him, I would blame him. I say, see, I'm just like my father.
Oh, okay.
We can find whatever stimulus we want to justify our behavior.
Right.
And especially when we are taught to be creative with it. And that's the end of the damn story.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because nobody else is going to dispute us, right? Because everybody's accepted. Yeah, that's why you like that.
So, Mike, were you learning martial arts to whoop your dad's ass?
No.
In so many words. Wasn't that nothing like that?
No, not at all. I mean, my dad was a hero in my eyes.
Was he a military guy or something?
No, he was a bad dude. Like, he was a player.
Okay.
There's certain things that, my father affected me on, right?
You're right.
But I realized there's a certain point where, that's me. My father, like, he never grew up. I never grew up with him. He was like the slick cat, Harlem, all that shit. I go visit him sometimes. Like, he only lived 45 minutes away from me. I never see his ass.
Oh, damn.
I had to go see him. One time when I was 13, he was getting ready to go out, go hang out. He put his suits on and everything else in his pigsty of a place. But he always would walk out clean. And one time when he was leaving, he basically was telling me, you're never dressed until you have your matching pistol. And he had a matching pistol for every outfit.
Damn. And
so, it affected me. I felt like I'm supposed to be strapped every place I go, right? That kind of affected me to some degree, right? Like, because when you're young, it's like, okay, well, you got to be ready, know. So, and then, like, I mean, when I was 14, he was like, he sent me out on the street looking for somebody to fix this clip of a I think it was a 30? No, it was I forgot what it was. It was like a 20 cal.
Like 22.
Yeah, but it's like I found it, I kept it, but he didn't care. Like my father was this slick dude that was bigger than life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like like a blackjack dealer. Like you have two babies over here, I'll give you one.
Oh,
I mean,
damn.
You want, and it's it's scattered around, right? So that was
prevalent back then, by the way.
yeah. But like, am I like him? Did I want to be like? Anyway, there's so many. I can get creative and justify anything I want to. Really, as an adult. Yeah, there was a few things when I was a kid that influenced me to some degree. But when I really look at it, I've been consistent with the same character I was born with my entire life.
So did that make you want to be more disciplined yourself?
I wanted to be more disciplined.
Right.
My heroes were martial artists, people who were powerful.
Right.
We're surrounded by something that really was something close to me. You got these Shaft posters up here.
Yeah.
I remember watching Jim Brown and Fred Williamson growing up, I identified with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, I want to look like that. I want to represent that. We had, alpha males, and this was, like me strengthening my body, doing the martial arts.
Yeah.
And all that. That was largely because there's certain images that came into my world, right? And so that shaped who I was.
And I can see that passion in the Black Dynamite movie.
That is a love letter.
Yeah,
is what it is. Because to some, it's a layered thing. To some, it's a comedy. To some, I got deep stuff, and if you're really smart about it, you realize some other crazy stuff I'm really doing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I just think you're who you are, right? Like, okay, when I was in third grade, if everybody behaved in class, they were treated to one of my puppet shows. Okay, that's what I would create these stories and created the puppets and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Is that learned? No. What am I doing? I'm a grown man now, essentially making puppet shows. That's who I am.
Right,
I was that way all this time.
Right.
I found the things that I identified with and grabbed onto them.
Okay.
As I grew up. So it's just like I'm saying. It's like you are who you are. You just gotta, don't get in your own way and realize who you are to the core. Now,
how old were you when you started to discipline yourself with acting and study acting?
Well, with the martial arts, that was the discipline that I take throughout my life. Very much like, see, anytime you think about martial arts, I encourage people to think about it in the terms of a paramilitary operation.
Okay.
Okay, because it's the essence of martial arts should be that. It should be it's a curriculum to design to strengthen you throughout.
Right.
And it is something that it's a discipline that you adhere to, and it's a way of life, right? And so everything that you do is individual. Like if I can't do a split, then next year I can, and I can do this, and the belt levels are representative of obstacles that I overcome. Well, how am I overcoming them? I'm overcoming them through my mind, my discipline, and my drive.
Are you a black belt in? Are you a black belt?
In 8 different.
Wow.
In 8 different styles.
You have 8
yeah. So
black belts?
I just because it's still like I always want to challenge myself. I still train in different.
Have you? Because a lot of stuff you do almost looks like capoeira. Have you ever trained in that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Some of those high kicks you do. What is that? Which form is that?
Yeah, it's a combination. Like depending on what movie I'm doing, I'll do a different style of martial arts.
Okay. Like
I have this movie that we're supposed to start later on this year called The Moor, and I will be doing wushu in that, and it'll be the first time I really get to show that. This is a kung fu art I've trained for since I was 15, and I would compete, go back and forth in China, and I have yet to have a character that I can use that type of fighting style.
Right.
But I mean, I've done this my whole life, and what it is like, it's really about, kind of pushing yourself beyond boundaries, right?
Right.
And so if I get a black belt in one style, what am I done? Why? I could still, move on. I'll try something completely different.
Which martial art is the hardest to you?
Style I do called this is the double kind of question. Like the hardest art for me is wushu because it's made for little tiny people, and it's like imagine me doing ballet.
Okay. Wow.
It would be
I don't
very.
wanna imagine that.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's
but
hard.
but if somebody our size forces themselves to do ballet, right?
Yeah.
If you get to a place where you can do ballet, you can
badass.
do anything.
Yeah.
You could do
that.
anything. So that's technically the hardest because of being 235, 240, and having to jump and split and come up and do all that type of stuff at the same timing as somebody who's 5'4".
Yeah.
Well, then as a big man, when you are competing against other big guys, you destroy them because they can't do anything near that.
Speaking of martial arts, weren't you in Kill Bill and they cut it out or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I was doing. That's kind of something that you see me do a little wushu in.
Okay.
We shot that in China, and the number one Chinese choreographer in the world was the one that choreographed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Yeah, Yin Wu Ping.
You won't be. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was cut out of the movie, but it's on like the extra footage and stuff.
Oh,
stuff
okay.
you know.
I got to see that.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
to see it. Now, the Moore movie, I saw a trailer that you guys did a while back with that.
Yeah. So we're supposed to go into production this year.
So what's that one about?
Well, it's about a more based almost like a Conan the Barbarian type of thing.
Oh, wow.
A mercenary, this Moorish mercenary who is charged with the task of delivering this prince to his kingdom.
Okay.
And his father, who passed away, the former king, his dying wishes that his friend the Moor transport his son, and the Moor becomes a reluctant kingmaker. It's kind of what you should have done with Donald Trump's ass when he was young.
Yeah.
You take him to other cultures and teach him about, other people, other cultures, and respect for other cultures, and and respect for people, and certain ways of living and governing before you give them the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see that Moor thing, man, because in my movies we talk a lot about the Moors because most people didn't even know who the Moors were. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a period piece.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be set in what country?
Well, he's going to traverse a lot of countries.
Okay.
To get him to the kingdom.
Okay, that's right. And so it's a done deal. That's funded. Everything is good.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that I've been playing a chess game for a very long time, and so my brand. I've been doing these movies, these overseas movies, for a while because of this like I say, this chess game.
Yeah.
To make myself solvent and significant in all these other countries, and so therefore I can get my budgets, created to do movies that I really intend on doing that would really reflect my brand, which is something that is going to entertain and teach and make money.
And it's very interesting you said that because in Hollywood they like to promote the narrative that black movies don't do good overseas.
That's the biggest crock of shit ever.
I know. I know.
I'm going to say it like this, and it's going to sound provocative, but white movies don't make money overseas either. Okay? Here's what it is, okay? If you just generalize it like that. What it is action movies make money overseas all the time. Okay? If I say white movies don't make money overseas, if you say the majority of white movies are comedies and dramas, right? Why the hell do they need George Clooney's drama in China or in France or whatever? They got their own dramatic actors and comedians in other parts of the world. There's a reason why the only people we know from other countries are Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. What other Chinese actor do you know from China?
That is true.
Right?
All action. All action.
Yeah, it's because it's action, and so that's what it is, and that's the thing that surprised me years ago when I first went to Bulgaria and Romania and people in Russia and all this stuff, and and I'm in a mall and everybody's mobbing me, and I'm like, get the hell out of here, so I know. For one thing, I've been robbed because these people, my movies have been circulating out here without me knowing it. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that people don't realize is that the biggest money-making movies are the low-budget action films.
Yep.
They make money everywhere.
Yep.
Like there's a movie called Ong Bak, done by these persons like a brother to me, Tony Jaa. That movie went all over the world, right? It's a small movie from Thailand. That's one of the greatest martial art movies in history.
What's the name of it again? You saw it, Bree?
Yeah.
Ong Bak.
Ong Bak.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
when is she going to be talking about a Thai actor?
Ever.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know, what Thai actor have you ever heard of if you didn't know Ong Bak, right? So this is what's been happening. That movie has made a ridiculous amount of money. Do you know that the biggest money makers are those movies worldwide?
Yeah.
And it's not the tentpole huge movies like, you know, when you think of like return on investment. If you compare the return on investment of like say Avatar,
Yeah.
it's nothing compared to like say the first, you know, Road Warrior.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like a what is it, like something like 400% different because like here's a movie that it doesn't even take much to market it.
Right.
But every one of these huge movies have big marketing budgets and all this overhead.
Yeah.
So when you have movies where, you know, people know me in another country, and one real slick thing they do is like say I do a movie like Blood and Bone, and it's called something else in another country.
Yeah. I was just talking about that. I have a horror movie, and they changed the name in another country.
Right. Yeah. So you know, I remember like, you know, being in China. You know, every time I'm in another country, I'll go through where, you know, the DVDs and stuff like that. So, you know, I see myself in another movie. It's called something else. So that's how they slick that one.
It'd be
But-
Sex It Coons. Wait, what? Sex It Coons. I never did Sex It Coons or Exit Wounds.
or Undisputed,
Yeah.
as they call in China, Negroes of the Iron House.
Wow.
Wait, why did they
Negroes
do
were
that? What's the point?
Well, because I tell you, because if you sell the rights to a movie in another country, like Black Dynamite did huge in France.
Yeah.
It's called
My poster is in French, by the way.
It's called Badass Motherfucker.
Oh, damn.
In France.
Damn.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
You give, you know, they have the French rights. They can name it anything they want.
Right. That's right.
That's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's kind of like, you know, I would go, like one of the first times I went to Romania, I went to like their equivalent to a Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
And in their new movie section, there were 3 of my movies. It was 16 movies and 3 of them were mine.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, this is why in Romania they're going, hey, Michael J. White.
Oh,
and I'm going, damn. They got the middle name right in Romania, and then in you know
out here, white
in
people
Atlanta,
see Michael Clark Duncan. Hey.
yeah, people are saying Michael J. White or Michael Jaleel White.
Hilarious.
But so I know something had happened. Because, but I knew this. See, this is the price of doing business because, okay, I do this movie, I do that movie. I know they're going to sell it worldwide.
Yeah.
But my plan is, hey, you know, infuse me all over the world. So, you know, when I do my own brand, I have some place to go.
Yeah, Fred Williamson and those guys used to do that in the 70s.
Fred Williamson is one of the first people that educated me about that. And he always he told me about his deal in Italy. And I got to tell you, my big brother Wesley Snipes was the first to educate me about that.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, as Wesley said, man, if you ever do a movie and they're showing it overseas, and they're not paying for you, pay for yourself and go. And he was absolutely right.
Oh yeah,
because you let the foreign audience know that you exist. They appreciate you for that. That's why I'm doing a lot of like quietly. I've been doing these things all around the world.
Yeah,
I'm going to do another movie in Romania in starting February 28th or something like that. Yeah, so I mean,
it's an action film, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So action sells all over the world.
Yes, it does.
So getting back to what we're saying, basically, there's never been a black action movie that hasn't sold overseas.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
That's why Wesley Snipes was making way more money than Denzel for a very long time.
Yep.
But people don't know that. There's because back overseas, it's like it was 20 years ago in the blockbuster days. It's still a DVD type market. They're not doing the streaming like we're doing here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a whole different animal.
Oh yeah.
So it's the thing is,
there's money overseas.
People like this. I always try to extract what the opposition says that's right about their argument. If somebody wants to say, okay, black movies don't sell overseas, if you're saying, Oh, the majority of our movies being comedies and dramas don't sell overseas. Well, you're right. Just like white movies, the majority being comedies and dramas, they don't sell overseas. But here in the United States, we have movies that blow up shit.
Yeah.
That's our export. And so it's all equal. If we have action, whether it's black or white, that's an overseas seller.
Yeah.
And it's just the part of the argument that's not said.
Absolutely. Now, you the first time I saw you do comedy in the Tyler Perry joint. Have you done comedy before, or was that your first time?
The craziest thing is, if you listed my credits, I have more comedy than anything else.
Really?
It doesn't make sense, right?
I'm trying to see what other comedy movies
know,
you in.
thinking,
Now
like,
I'm thinking.
scratching
I'm like,
my
shit.
head.
What?
Yeah, it's actually, because if it listed everything from television shows to all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's more comedy.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, because you got some I don't even want to.
Oh,
First of all, I already said I'm not good at remembering the stuff, but
Yeah.
but being like things like Thick as Thieves, the Why Did I Get Married?
Yeah.
If you talk about all the whole For Better or Worse seasons,
Yeah,
and then a lot of different guest star roles on different things like that, and then then there's a lot of independent comedy movies that I've done.
Okay.
And so I've had actually more comedy roles, and it's kind of Black Dynamite, of course, is a comedy.
So does the comedy come as easy as the martial arts roles, or the because you have such a dry humor and it reads so well? And Why Did I Get Married?
Well, thank you. I mean, with Why Did I Get Married, it's really the character. Like I wanted to do a character that made you forget that I kick people in the head.
Right.
And it's very hard to forget you standing there like this.
Is that kind of you though? Is that kind of your character? Because you do play it well. I agree with Bree.
Well, thanks. I mean, that's.
Is that you a little bit?
It's a little bit. Well, in the series, I turned it more into me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like, no, I mean, I'm not the Marcus that would take all that. So no. It'd be like,
Do you be kind of getting mad on set? Like,
I'd probably laugh and be like, see ya. It'd be like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, but yeah, well, any drama that you've ever seen me do, or I don't care how serious the movie was, right? When they said cut, I was a goofball the second afterwards. So it's kind of hard not to make something into a comedy for me.
Yeah.
You know, and so many people refuse to believe that because they see me kick people in the head.
I'm one of those people, and I'm sitting right next to you.
And
It's so hard to believe.
It's like this crazy thing. It's like, I have so many friends that, they say, oh yeah, I saw your boy Mike, man, but I was scared to say hi to him.
Like you gonna jump on him?
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, well,
your rep?
I do have this damn, kind of mean looking face.
Man.
sometimes.
Yes.
But there's a lot of goofy shit going on.
Stand.
Yeah.
So now, how was it working on The Dark Knight?
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Batman
I
movie.
forgot I did that
Yeah,
one.
he was in
You know I
there.
did that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where people go, "Oh man, you were good in that." And I go, "Okay." I'm not good with compliments sometimes, and with that one, I go, "Oh, let's see."
What didn't you like about it? What?
No, I liked it. But when people say, "Oh man, you were great in that," I was like, I played an angry black guy.
Oh.
I played an angry black guy, intimidating black guy.
Okay.
Okay, you could have gave me the script on the way to the set, and I would have done that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe they cast somebody who was intimidating, but I can't think of that as some tour de force acting thing. It's like, I'm gonna kick your ass type of thing. So
This is easy.
Have they ever offered you a role that you're like, I don't know?
that happens the majority.
Oh,
of
really?
the time. Yeah, I mean,
Like, give me an example. What kind of role is
it's too long.
Oh, damn.
Well, Brother Denzel told me sometimes your career is shaped by the things that you resist playing. You know what I mean? And he's absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
They always want you to do the same thing that you just did.
Mm-hmm.
You
Do
know,
they want you to play a slave?
I have played a slave.
Really?
Yeah.
In which movie?
A movie called Captive Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, I played a slave, and it was kind of great for me.
Really?
Yeah, it made me look at the world a certain way.
Okay.
And I learned a lot from playing that role. A lot, actually, because it was, and this actually affects my life because there were people, interviewing me about how was it to play a slave, you know what I mean? And then I was like, well, actually, to inhabit this character, I was this slave who Ruby Dee played my mom.
Okay. Love Ruby Dee.
Yeah, and I grew up with the masses' son who knew me and all this stuff. And then certain things dawned on me. I said, damn, if I'm a person whose whole life existed on this plantation, right? The things that would represent beauty for me, the flower, my mother's cooking, the singing voice, all that type of stuff in my world is at this level, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, damn, how beautiful is this flower? How beautiful is this music? How good is this food? Right? And the fact that I realized that every generation does better than the last generation, in that character, I would have an absolute optimistic view of my life because I was doing damn better than what I saw when I was growing up. Okay? And I was like, I'll be damned. This is something that continued with me. When the movie was over, how beautiful is a singing voice? How beautiful is that flower?
Yeah.
How beautiful are all the things that were beautiful to this character? They still are.
Right.
Okay? And they were beautiful to me. If I lose track of that, I don't take advantage of what I really have. You know what I mean? It made me appreciate the things I had even more.
What year did you do that movie? Damn.
Do we gotta pull
I
that
don't
up?
know.
Yeah, this brother some
You
ginkgo
died,
biloba.
baby.
I know.
But give me credit for remembering.
Oh my God.
I just want some
the
credit for
Wikipedia.
remembering I was a slave at
I
one
know.
time.
You remember all that shit? Don't remember the year of the movie?
Yeah, like,
I remember
damn.
the flowers and the grits and the biscuits. But goddamn the year. I can't remember the year.
Yeah. What, the year was 1720, damn it. Okay? How about that?
God damn, you remember everything. You remember the ducks and the smoking beans. No. Have they ever tried to get you in a movie? You never done a dress. You
With a dress.
never had
Oh,
to
stop. No.
He too damn, but he don't rip a dress.
But they don't give a shit.
No,
they
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 don't.
put a
I mean,
nigga in a dress.
I
always try
think
to
they
do
have
that.
a,
Have they tried to though?
No, and this is this big they.
Okay,
With the
somebody
mustache.
I know.
Who they are.
With the mustache
We know who
twisting.
they is.
We must get him in a dress. No, that doesn't
voice.
All
exist.
right, man.
No, I mean,
We don't want to see you with no bundles and a damn sundress, kicking people in flip flops and shit.
remember.
No.
Let's go back to what Brother Denzel said.
Yes.
But then it's like your your career is shaped by the things that you don't do.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's not like there's any. It's not like that. That's a possibility. I am who I am,
Right.
and there's so many ways that I could have had bullshit friendships or associations to get this or that. And I've never done that. I have an overactive conscience, and this whole maybe it's this martial art thing, whatever. I ain't calling somebody a friend who's not a friend.
Right.
I don't care who somebody is. I'm not trying to be around you because you can do something for me.
Right.
I've never done that a day in my life. And even when I sat home broke or whatever, and I knew I could take this advantage and that advantage, there were a lot of influential people and producers who wanted to have the cool, badass black friend
Yeah.
to hang with, to be part of their entourage.
Yeah.
I've never done that, no matter who somebody was. It's like because, it never. My heroes were never producers or actors. I'm not impressed by none of that shit.
Right.
Like
right.
when I say I'm not impressed, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Are you a Sag, by the way?
No,
What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
But no,
That makes sense.
the
Yeah,
people,
that makes sense
the
too.
people I looked up to were people of honor.
Right.
And
right.
Comported themselves like true people, like true
Absolutely.
men. And if
Absolutely.
you don't do that, I don't care what you are. I mean, you could be sweeping. You could be sweeping up out front. You could be a janitor.
Right.
It don't matter, janitor or a movie executive. It doesn't matter at all, not even a little bit. And to the point where I used to think, am I taking this too far? Because my managers and people would get mad at me. Oh, this so and so wants you to be. I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I'm not hanging with this person.
Right.
Yeah.
I hang with my friends. And so to hang with this person who's not my friend because they want to get to know me is a slap in the face of my real friends, and I would never do that.
Wow.
I don't care who you are.
No.
I am the type that would face gunfire behind what I feel.
Right.
There's nobody who frightens me or who makes me think that I'm going to like, I don't know, like give up my principles for something or lie to somebody or try to impress them. I've never done that. But as a result, I have respect from people.
Absolutely.
And so if it never happened for me because I'm doing it the staunch, clear way or whatever, it's fine. It would have been fine.
Now, let me ask you this. When you started doing Black Dynamite, did you try to go to a big studio here first, or did you guys just take it? I know you took it to Sundance, right?
Oh, well, we were like the hit of Sundance.
Right.
Yeah. So, even getting the movie done, I went to 2 investors.
Okay.
And
were they overseas or are they here?
No, they were here.
They were here. Okay.
Yeah, I went to 2 investors. I put something together, something like you've seen.
Yeah.
Sent it out Federal Express on a Monday to 2 different people. By Wednesday, I had the money for the movie.
Damn.
Nice.
Damn.
2
What's
days.
their number? Man.
Well,
But
it's because you see, the way I go about putting the things down.
Man.
So it's kind of have a very strategic way about putting those things together.
So you guys, was it the trailer, that initial trailer that you guys shot for?
Yeah.
And what I liked about the Black Dynamite trailer, it was so true to the way they used to do those trailers back in the 70s. Back in the 70s, they used to, they would have the voiceover. It was a dude named Adolf Caesar who would do all the
yeah.
He was in what's that?
Everything.
Everything. Yeah. Good actor.
Soldier Story.
Yeah, Soldier Story. Yeah. Love that brother. But he would do it.
Niggas.
Yeah, that cold ass voice. Yeah, he's bad. He got $300 suits. See, that type of thing.
You never see him sweat.
How did you guys shoot all those scenes? Because everything was supposed to be in the early 70s. How did you guys shoot?
We made it look just like that. We shot on 16 millimeter color reversal film, which looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
But see, there was a trailer before you saw that one.
Okay.
There was a trailer where I ran around stealing locations and spent all of $500 to make it.
Oh wow!
Right, and that's what happened. And then on Wednesday when we sent the thing in, the guy called back and says, "Hey man, why'd you send me this 70s blaxploitation trailer?" I said, "Look again, that's me and Tommy Davidson." Called back and said, "I got the money."
Man.
So because he really was convinced that he was looking at an old trailer.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah,
And so
it looked that authentic.
So you can't, some of the things that you can't describe, you have to show.
Yeah. How long did it take you guys to shoot Black Dynamite?
About what? 21 days.
Okay, about a little under a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I shot Black Dynamite 10 days after I shot Blood and Bone.
Okay.
Yeah, in basically several of the same places.
Love that, man. So the next movie, you got a sequel to Black Dynamite. Is it somewhat of a sequel?
It's somewhat of a sequel.
Yeah. Explain what the new project is. Because I've seen the trailer. I loved it.
Right, but
it looked like a sequel to Black Dynamite. That's what people are going to think.
It's from the brothers that brought you Black Dynamite.
Okay. Yes.
When does this? It is air now, right?
Yes, it's live. Yes.
So there's certain parts of it. It's like you got to kind of like, let's back up a
all right,
because
yes,
there's going to be, But I've actually announced it a while back. That the intention was, even on day one, is that we were our forays into the blaxploitation thing was going to exist of the Shaft type of character, Shaft Superfly, the Mac type of character of Black Dynamite, and then we were going to do something that was going to be like the Western, like the Buck and the Preacher type of
The
thing.
Legend of Nigga Charlie, stuff like that.
Yeah, that type of thing. And then the third was going to be a Blackula type of horror type of thing too.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, so you see what this trifecta is about to do.
Yeah. So this is the next project that he's working on now. This one, it has that Fred Williamson vibe where that soul Western thing.
And you felt good about these movies.
Yeah.
You felt good. See, there's something about the Western genre. There is an ethos. There's a code, you know, and I can't forget how I felt when I was young, and how uplifted I felt seeing these type of movies. Remember the Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby movies?
Yeah, Let's Do It Again. Piece of the Action.
Remember how you felt?
Oh yeah. Oh, you love those movies.
Yeah, I mean, there is an avenue for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's an avenue for that, and in the same way, if people kind of relived the time period through Black Dynamite, and if you've seen Stranger Things, how there's a way that you can evoke those times and even the purity of those times by just paying attention to detail and knowing what was great about that time.
Yeah.
And extract that. And it's just not about just the money thing. It's about giving people an experience.
Yeah.
And so that's really what I'm trying to do with my brand.
What made you make a conscious decision to really control these films and control your brand on your own?
Well, because I've seen things go wrong when people don't understand.
Right.
There's a lot of people who just don't understand at all. And they think that, a lot of studios think that, okay, which is ridiculous, that, okay, you can create this piece of art, right?
Right.
And for a specific audience. And they think that you don't know how to reach that audience, which is insane.
Yeah.
Right? It's if you imagine Tyler Perry, if he didn't have the money to reach out and do his own marketing, things would have been very different.
Yes, it
because
did.
you almost can't expect a studio to know what he knows.
Right.
A studio wouldn't write the movies he writes for that audience that he knows so well. There's an audience I know well. I know the action audience. I know the worldwide action audience. I know the black audience.
Yeah.
I know this audience, and I just can't expect some studio head to really know it. He hasn't lived it. He hasn't breathed it. He didn't experience what it was like. He can't recreate that experience.
So, Michael, I have an idea. It's going to be you. It's going to be you, Flavor Flav, Steven Seagal, and you guys are going to wear dresses. It's going to be To Wong Fu Part 3, and you guys are going to wear dresses, and you're going to get into cat fights all over.
Bro, I have so many stories that where it's like, all I can do is come back to my wife and go, "You won't believe what they told me."
Wow.
Man,
You know what I
man,
mean? And it's
man,
like,
man.
and it's like, man, it's almost like I used to be a school teacher before I was.
Oh yeah, I heard
an
that.
actor.
I heard that. Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I did. That's one thing I was really proud of. You can't get me to claim I'm an actor if somebody don't know anything.
Yeah.
I almost never talk about this business. But one thing I do talk about is, when I was teaching, I'm a proud former teacher.
Yeah.
But when I was teaching, and I taught EMD, emotionally disturbed kids, kids that were very much like me, growing up, very at risk.
Okay.
It was like I changed the curriculum. I did a thing to where I did some things that were really successful, and then there would be superintendents that would come to my school and show me the newest things going on, and praising the students and stuff. But they would mean well, but they were so out of touch with the kids I was dealing with. They had no idea how I was doing this.
Right.
They didn't understand that my students could say, Mr. White, my mom was on crack, and I'm like, so, you were supposed to do that. Like there was a certain like way of there was a tough love thing, but then there's ways that I did things to where you're not affecting me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know everybody's kind of, you got to find the weakness in someone. You used to dealing with your mother and finding that soft spot right there. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I got through that, and we realized there was a hierarchy, and there's a respect thing, and you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and I'm going to make you better than you would be if I wasn't here. And there's a thing that I couldn't expect other people to know, because they went to college thinking they're going to change the world and all this stuff, and then they are dealing with students that can wrap them around their finger in a second. All I got to do is give you the sob story, and I got you in my pocket. And poor people.
Yeah, that's why we need more black male teachers.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That, or I don't want to get. I could talk too long about this.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I think the military should be involved. You get the military involved in the public school system, it changes overnight. I'm sorry, it changes overnight.
How so?
Man, if you hired the military to come into the public school system, see, one thing is, all the teachers are the kings of their own, domain.
Right.
They are struggling. They're begging and pleading for kids to just listen. They want a morsel of anything.
Okay.
And these students they run over these poor people who are not ready for that. The military, no. No.
Are you a military guy?
Well, in a sense, but it's but like, I do understand the hierarchy and the fact that everybody in the military has to answer to something that's bigger. When someone understands that there is no wiggle room here. This is what you do. You can't affect me because
I'm just trying to see how the military would, how that would work in a practical. Because a lot of people will look at it like, well, hell, that's like Donald Trump is saying shit like that. We need to send the military to Chicago.
No, that's something quite different.
Okay.
Well, it's not in response. Just think about this. Say if I'm not even wearing a uniform, if I'm somebody military trained, right?
Okay.
There's a curriculum I adhere to.
Okay.
The curriculum I adhere to is bigger than me.
Okay.
I'm not going to deviate, even as a teacher.
So you mean a
deviate.
militarily trained teacher? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Just think of the military. Think of this for a second.
Okay.
I am not going to deviate from the rules, even myself.
Okay.
Right? So therefore, you can't.
Exactly.
Right.
Because I have to answer to someone. Now, if I'm, like, if I break the rules, you break the rules for one person, you break them for everybody. It's very easy to lose control of a classroom. Very easy. And it's very hard to get control back.
Okay.
If it is something to where because think about this for a second. The way you were in one teacher's class is not the way you are in another teacher's class.
That's true.
Right,
okay.
Right.
And so if it's a female teacher and you can work her emotions around it, if she's military trained, I'm sorry, you got nowhere to go.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because she's adhering to something higher than her.
Okay.
Right.
So it's like, do you think there's any wiggle room in the military for you to kind of, you don't do your exercises. You can go chill.
Right,
no, it doesn't exist. And so with that mindset, you don't all you have to do is adhere to the rules of the school. Mm-hmm. But when someone has a barrier from, like, it is not something to where I'm in charge of my own classroom and I can do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I will maintain control, especially when everybody, like, it's just no leeway. I've seen it for so many years. My mother was an educator.
Okay.
I have now a lot of peers who are now principals and really trying to do that.
Right.
But there is no unified curriculum for the teachers themselves.
Okay.
We actually did this, and I don't want to go talk about this too much.
Okay.
But a friend of mine who's a principal, we plotted this thing. where at the beginning of the year, they had this orange book. Said the orange book is laid down. Me as a principal, I have to, the superintendent gave me this thing. I have to adhere to this.
Okay.
It's the rules that was already there. But now, oh my God, the orange book is down. So we all have to do this now. It's been a change. And then, do you know that trickled down to everybody? So the teacher's going, oh, I'm sorry, I would give you a break, but no, we're under scrutiny here because of the orange book now.
Okay.
And so that changed everything because it almost was this boogeyman that existed that was just actually, it was just, kind of like.
But still, but let's say even if you have the military disciplinarians at the school, you might still have that rebellious kid like, fuck a orange book. I'm about to go out here and smoke this blunt.
Right, and then they're gone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but when you, I'm going to do this one, you have much less of that because because the median behavior has changed. Right. It has changed. So this person, first of all, they're gone and they should be. Right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of not a thing where, okay, yeah, somebody misbehaves and then you give them a break and let them come back in.
What do you think about back in the day? Didn't they used to whoop kids or spank them in class, like paddle them or something?
Well, I mean, that's
back in the day.
Yeah, that's back in the day, but of course that's gone. So you can't.
I think we all kind of think like that.
That's beating a dead horse, but just think about back in the day when we had male teachers. I mean, I'm a little older than you, I think, but most of my male teachers came from the military.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they
didn't fuck around. Yeah,
there was nothing to be played with.
Some of our when we had a military trained principal, and people were scared of the principal.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but see, that trickles down. Now think about if there was a nothing but military. Think about that for a second.
I do homeschool.
Are Chinese? Do you guys know if Chinese schools are run by military? Because they are very.
That is true.
No, but they're Chinese already.
They already did. They run their society like military.
Ain't got no wild Chinese people running around.
Yeah.
They get shot in the head.
Hell yeah. The government don't play around over there.
Ain't no wild Chinese people. They all moved to LA.
Shoot, you can only have one child in a bike.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
Shoot. I mean, for real. It's like, they ain't. I've been to China several times.
Is that true? Wait, they're only allowed to have like one kid or something?
Yeah,
that's very true.
That's crazy.
I thought it was two kids.
No,
I think if you have like a girl, you can have another one.
Wait, is this in Japan only or just China?
It's China. It's Japan and China. Woo, big different worlds completely. It's overpopulated. There's communists for a reason.
And what if you have a second child? Then what's going to happen?
That child will not get government assistance. That child is going to be on its own. That's the punishment behind that.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Man. So anyway, man, with the new movie, you got crowdfunding for that. What's the website where people can check out?
Well, it's going to drop.
Oh, it hasn't dropped yet.
No. It's going to be something that
Okay.
So that it's certain people like yourself got a early glimpse into what's happening.
Yes, I thought it was ready. Yeah, because I want y'all to see it, man.
Yeah.
I still don't believe you shot all of that.
Okay,
I ain't gonna say it, but I ain't gonna say it. Because he told me some behind the scenes stuff. I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah, you can say
this shit looks tight. It looks tight.
Well, hey, you mention that later.
I'm gonna talk y'all fair about that. I'm gonna
mention that in a couple of weeks. But just so everybody understands, there's something I'm about to drop, and I'm gonna invite a lot of folks to be a part of it. It's going to be something that, if this works, it could change the way we can do films and get things done throughout the entire community. Yeah, movies that would never get done in the Hollywood system. There is a chance to do this thing because this template that I'm working off of and have actually pinpointed can be duplicated over and over, and it's really something that, honestly, I've got 6 offers to fully fund the movie.
Okay.
Damn.
But that's not what I want to do. If that happened, well, I'd get the money. but it wouldn't do anybody else any good. This is
you wouldn't own the rights no more. You wouldn't own the rights. You wouldn't.
Well, yeah, I have a situation where I can own the rights.
Okay.
But still, my end game is to do this way. I'm not just trying to sound corny, but it's like, if not me, who? If not now, when?
Right.
Honestly, I have something that there's a lineage to this, and I feel like the people made movies like Black Dynamite and Blood and Bone, Solvent around the world, and even though they had no marketing, nothing but word of mouth to make them what they are.
And Black Dynamite seems like it has a huge cult following.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
It did very well all over the world, and people, a lot of people don't realize that. But and it spawned the cartoon as well.
Do you do the Comic-Con stuff with Spawn and all that?
Yeah. I've done that several times.
I can imagine.
But see, there's a lot of our stories that we don't get to do because we got to ask the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this day and age we need to do that anymore.
You don't.
That's absolutely
so
true.
if we rally together as a community, we can incite some change.
Why do you think more black people in Hollywood don't think like that?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like our conditioning. There's a lot of stuff that kind of. I mean, maybe it came out of good stock. People meant well.
Yeah.
But we've turned self-hate into an art form. I mean, think about the nature of our comedy. You so black, okay, that became an art form. Nature of a lot of our music. What is rap saying? Is it saying, I'm better than you and I'll whoop you, I'll kill you and all this stuff? There's an art form to the self-hatred that existed. Remember I talked about the whole pre-existing condition, right?
Right.
Well, if that's there, what's your art gonna look like? So if it's coming out of love, then it's gonna look like a different thing.
Yes, indeed.
But so it's a thing to where that just goes deep. There's from the Willie Lynch to now, a lot of these things have worked. Some of it I feel like, hey, maybe some came from love. Giving it a little bit like, well, generations ago when the young black child wanted to say, hey, I'm gonna have a better life. I'm gonna educate myself. I'm gonna look this white man in the eye. And the older people in the community said, no, you ain't nothing but a nigga.
Right,
you look down, you do this, you sweep up and you work for white folks because they wanted to keep that kid alive because some other kids was hanging from the tree with that attitude.
Right.
And so what we have is a knee-jerk response to keep each other down. Sometimes it was out of love.
Yeah.
And say, don't go thinking that you better than somebody else. Boy, you stay here. And so then it just made people think that, okay, we got to attack each other and keep each other down.
Yeah.
Times have changed. You can do anything you want, but it's kind of a learned behavior. And even when you step out to accomplish something, you fear other people aiming at you to shoot you down. A lot of times they don't know any better. It's how they grew up.
Been conditioned, absolutely.
And so you don't want to be that target. And there's a lot of that surrounds us. A lot of this self-hatred and a lot of this crap that makes you believe in this white supremacy craziness. Because growing up, I knew my mother and my uncle would be talking about referring to a white man because they said Mr. Smith, son, whatever, because white people, they would say Mr. in front of him. And my uncle would look down or behave different around white folks. There's that stuff is deep in in our lineage, and there I try to look at where a lot of it comes from before you try to enact any kind of change.
Right.
And so a lot of knee-jerk responses is to attack each other. Now a lot of times people go, man, I'd like to see you fight Wesley Snipes. Why wouldn't you want to see me fight with Wesley Snipes?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I
fight
mean?
him. Yeah.
And so I know better. And the thing is, I'm doing something about that. I have to live in a way where, how I feel is like, hey, if a dog really wants to bite you, he ain't even gonna bark.
Yeah, yeah.
He just gonna run up and bite you, and that's my tactic, just to do it.
Absolutely.
And I think people, people will tend to do what they see you do,
right?
Not what you just
said, right?
Yeah,
right. Man, brother, where can we find you? Where can people find you on social media?
Well, on.
You can't remember that either. God damn.
I'm bad. I've been kicked in the head during. Okay. I got. I have to go to a different brain part to do this stuff because there's so Just give me some credit. There's such a part of me that's like that's kicking and screaming to this whole social media and look at me type of thing and talk about my business because like I said, I always been the type that I'm just gonna do it.
Right.
I don't want to even talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to get to talking about something is hard for me. But it's official Michael Jai on Instagram.
Okay.
And it's just the number sign Michael Jai White at Twitter.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then there's the real Michael Jai White. No, the real Michael Jai White on Facebook, and I think that's it, right? It's like-
Do you have an official site? You have an official website?
He does.
He does. You do. We're saying you do.
Okay.
You don't remember.
He don't even know what it is.
I think I do.
MichaelJaiWhite.com.
Oh yeah.
We wanted to remind you.
Think about it. When am I going to go on the thing? Like, so
Obviously, he don't run that motherfucker.
But it's like I'm doing I'm getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
But like it's like I've been kicking and screaming because it's like this weird thing. Like my wife is always.
I know. I saw a video of you and your wife trying to send out your Christmas.
That's me.
That was
What were they doing? What were they doing, Bree?
Messing up.
Retake after retake after retake. They was cracking up.
Yeah,
How many
man.
kids do you have? Do you have any kids?
Shoot. How many?
I can't remember that.
No, I got 5.
Oh, okay.
So what was I going to say?
What's the names and ages? I'm just joking.
Oh no, you were trying to yeah.
I'm just joking.
But
It's
see,
the wife's birthday.
it's my wife's birthday.
Happy
birthday,
wife.
baby.
He got a fine wife, by the way. His brother's
Yeah.
wife. And that's it with all due respect.
And I ain't just saying that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
We've known each other going on 22 years now. This is the
love
best
that.
thing that ever happened to me.
Your wife, I remember her in How to Be a Player. She was in that movie. She was fly.
Which one is that?
She still is.
Yeah,
fly.
she's still fly. I ain't saying what. She's still fly.
She's hella fly,
She's
though.
always been fly.
But my wife would interact with people and talk about relationships and stuff like that. And I was like, these people just are haters and they just gonna, be aiming at you. And all this stuff. She would do all of this stuff and talk about, love and all. And I was like, I was like kind of reluctant for her to do that, but I'm like, that's her thing.
Yeah.
But then I decided to say, let me get her back because then people are not hearing the other side.
Yeah.
They probably thinking she's like, yeah, you saying all that, and he's probably running around and doing all that kind of stuff. And I said, I just started putting a few posts up.
Yeah.
And then I do a post, and then it went viral.
Yeah, that's what happens nowadays.
You know,
Yeah.
And then
my
it went.
God.
It was like, what the hell? And then it was like people coming at me to write books, and I'm like,
Yes.
what the hell?
Get
Damn.
the coins.
Yeah, but then now
Don't let Michael write a book. You won't remember shit he wrote.
no. I'm fast forward. I give some advice on stuff, especially if people are extracting something from it.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
that's what I'm put on this earth to do.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, I know I'm an entertainer. I'm everything I do is about service to others, whether it be instruction of this as a teacher, as a entertainer, performer, everything else. But I know my heart is that I get, I feel good giving to other. I have a problem receiving. That's a big problem. Don't give me nothing. Don't give me a present. Like I'm too shy. But but I'm I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and when people want to know stuff, if I could help with some knowledge that I have, hey, I'm all for it. That's what I want to do.
No doubt. All right, we're about to get up out of here in a second, though, man. We had a great
Yeah.
conversation,
Well,
brother.
thank you.
Great
Black
conversation, yes, indeed. We got to work on some stuff, man. We got to.
Yeah.
I got some ideas.
That would be dope if you guys did an action movie.
I know,
and
man.
then Bree can like kick some ass. No,
Yeah.
I'll make it up.
But Bree, what do you got? We're going to be gone in the next 2 weeks. We're not
Yes.
going to be on.
We
because,
are?
yeah, yes, we are because I'm leaving the
going to
country.
Africa.
I'm going to Africa and Dubai.
Oh, okay.
This-
Yeah, you've been to Dubai before, brother.
Several times.
How was Dubai? I've never been.
Oh,
My first time going.
It's cool. It's cool. I'm kind of like mixed emotions. I'm not a Vegas guy, and it's kind of like Vegas without the sin.
Oh,
Oh.
It's not like I want the
Okay.
sin
Yeah,
either.
right,
but,
right.
But it's kind of like I feel like I'm on a set
Oh, wow.
in a way.
wow.
It's kind of it's a little weird to me,
Wow.
but it's very opulent.
I know the airport. I've been through the airport.
Yeah.
The airport looks like a damn casino. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
like
It's
that.
very outlandish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Bree, what you gonna be doing in the next couple of weeks?
For 2 weeks, I
For
don't
2
know now.
weeks.
Shit.
Yeah, we can come up with some more ideas that we can do
Yeah.
for the
definitely
reality show.
writing. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's
yeah.
waiting.
They
The
are.
second-
I'm
They
writing.
are.
I got
For
stuff
real.
I'm working on for myself.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
I need these 2 weeks off.
Yes, yes. And Layla, what you gonna be doing?
I'm gonna be winging it. No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be, still doing my show with Brandy. We're gonna get her
Yes.
back up here too.
Yes,
And we gotta
yes.
get Bree on the show. She's so busy. I asked
ain't
her to
doing
be
that
on the
show.
show.
I ain't
I
doing
asked
that
her
show,
3
y'all.
times. I'm too busy. I'm like, okay.
I know.
So, but watch us though. Brandy Layla, we're gonna be doing that tonight.
Yes.
And that's what I'll be doing while you're gone.
Yes, indeed. Bree, where can people find you, dear?
You guys can find me on Instagram at It's Bree Small. I don't want to spell it. You know how to spell.
Yes.
It's Bree Small. Check me out.
Yes. And Layla, where can they find
I'm
you?
gonna spell mine
I
because
know,
y'all
spell
can't
it.
spell word shit.
Spell it.
MSLAILALOPEZ. That's on my Instagram. Yes.
Yep, and you know how to find me, Tariq Elite on Instagram, Tariq Nasheed on Twitter. Also, guys, go to the YouTube channel for IZM Radio. Look at the reality show pilot. People really, really love the pilot.
Check out our show.
And we're probably going to do some crowdfunding so we can do the whole series.
Yay.
So that's going to be fun because that was just the first episode. And you saw what we can do in the first episode. We're going to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
When are we gonna shoot
again?
again, Tariq? Do you know?
When I get back. When I
Okay,
get back, we'll
yeah,
shoot
let's
some
do
more
it.
stuff.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's come with our ideas,
Yes,
Bree.
indeed.
Well, me and Bree gonna have a lot of ideas by the time you get back.
I know.
Watch Bree, huh?
Yes.
I got my shit already. I'm ready. I'm ready to go now.
Yes, yes.
Stay
All right,
ready
y'all.
whenever
Y'all
that
be
shit-
good, family. We are out.